Blue Dog Films presents Paid to Dream with Charles Dennis.
Hello, this is Charles Dennis with vintage Paid to Dream audio recordings. Alex Karras was one of the most gregarious, hilarious people I ever knew. Sadly, due to his years in football, he ended up suffering from dementia, but I was able to catch up with him while he still had some delightful memories to share. Here they are now.
Are you there?
Hello, Dennis.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. You know, in many ways, you're responsible for my doing this show, because when we used to hang out together, you always called me the dish, because you said I always had the goods on everybody.
You're right.
For years, people have said, well, why don't you should be interviewing people again. And so I started doing it, and I've been after you for some time, and now I finally got you.
Oh, good, yes.
Yeah. The little guy from Gary, Indiana.
The little guy from Gary, Indiana.
I know.
Not much of us left there, is there?
I don't know. You know, I look back on your stories about your childhood. It was like an MGM movie. You know, there was this King Vidor picture called An American Romance about this immigrant, and he went to work in the steel mills. And
yeah.
You know, I picked up your book again the other day, Even Big Guys Cry, and it's a wonderful book, Alex.
Yeah, it is.
You did a terrific job with that.
Well, I always wanted to do something like that, and I did. I'm very pleased with it, and it means something to me, and it's good.
Well, tell us a little, for those who don't know. Your dad was a Greek immigrant who came with his parents, and he became a doctor, and he was Dr. Karras.
Yes. And he married my mom, a nurse, and
from Nova Scotia, because he went to where do you?
Yeah.
He went to Dalhousie, I think.
That's right, Dalhousie.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I don't know, if things seemed to be going really well, and all of a sudden my daddy died.
Yeah.
And when my daddy died, we all had to get together and do something about what we were going to do as far as financing and things like that are concerned. And
how many of you how many kids were there?
There's 6 of us total.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you went to work in a steel mill.
I went to work in the steel mill. Yep.
Which is the second or third reel of the MGM movie.
Yes, it is. And I was at that time I was I think 17 years old, and I think I was 17 years old, and I went to the steel mills, and I walked into the office, and I sat down with the man who was doing all the businesses, and he looked at my whole record, and he said, in Greek, he said, "Are you Dr. Karras' son?" In Greek, "Apos in kalopadi?" And I said, yes, kalopadi means, are you a good boy? And I said, yeah, malasta. And I got the job from him.
Good boy. All I know is I wish I had Miss Potts when I was, I mean, how many, can you tell us about Miss Potts, your teacher? You wrote about her.
Yes, I know I wrote about it. I was in love with her. There's no question about it.
And you were what? You were 15?
I could have been, but I think I was 14 at the time.
Oh my God, Alex!
And
I used to
dream of her at night.
Oh my gosh!
And I finally talked to her about it. I said, I'm having trouble. She said, what is it? I said, I'm very excited over you, and I've always been since the first time I ever met you. She looked at me, and she said, oh, that's sweet. That was about it.
But she didn't take you home?
No, she didn't take me to bed.
You made all that up in the book?
Yes.
Oh, you devil. Oh wow! Well, listen. It's like Esther Williams apparently finally confessed that she made all that stuff up about Jeff Chandler being a crossdresser.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Just so she could sell the book.
That's right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And then you went into the family business, which was not medicine but football.
Yeah, yeah. I was playing football, and my other brothers were playing football in front of me. They were professional football players, had gone to college and did it there, and then came into the pro league, and then I was head on playing with the Lions against my brother Teddy.
Wow.
Who was head on with me. He was a offensive guard and I was a defensive tackle, and I was right on his face. and Teddy used to scare the hell out of me when I was a kid. You know, he just was one of those kind of characters. But he was kind of interesting because he was a very good guard. He was one of those guards that would set up and say, okay, come through me, see if you can, you know. But I'll never forget going in there the first time to see Teddy to play football against him was really incredible. And my brother Louie, of course, was with the Redskins.
Right.
And I don't think there's three brothers that ever played football, professional football, is what I'm thinking.
No, it's unique. Unique.
Yeah, it's really something. But I think the Gary, Indiana was like that. They loved their sport, which is football, and then the second sport, which was basketball. But football, they adored it, and of course I did too. I loved it. So what are you going to do? It was great.
But you've always hated whistles.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know why, but I used to really get upset over that for some reason or another. I don't know.
You've gotten over it. Nobody's whistling at you anymore.
No one's whistling. That's right. I like that.
And I remember you telling me about when you were in college. You weren't doing well. You were, a star on the gridiron, but the classes, it was bad news. And then they found you the sculpture class.
Yes.
And you thought, what am I going to do? What is this sculpture? And then what did you discover?
Well, I actually did something with what I was supposed to do with the sculpturing class, which was sculpture, and I did. I did a nice little thing. I surprised myself with it, but it was one of those things where you see a little house, and then a railroad track. I don't know why I did that.
But wasn't there a beautiful, gorgeous girl who was the model in the sculpture class?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I spent as much time as I could sculpturing her, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hoping that she didn't catch a cold.
That's right. Absolutely.
And then you were in the Balkan Games one summer. You somehow managed to get yourself a trip to Greece.
Yeah. That was really interesting for me. I enjoyed it. It was the Greeks, are so competitive. I'm telling you, they want to get going, and I really enjoyed that. That was.
And you did shot puts?
Yeah, the shot put. Yeah.
And the discus, which you knew nothing about before.
The discus, I hated the discus.
But you never had to throw it, any?
I never had to throw it. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yes, that's for sure.
And then you were at the University of Iowa.
Yep.
And got scouted and signed by the Lions.
Yeah, yeah.
And you made $9,000 your first season. And what do you think when you hear the kind of salaries?
I was kicked out of the league for that particular reason when I said that it was price fixed.
Oh, boy.
And they kicked me out of the league. The National Football League owners and managers kicked me out of the league for saying something like that. Now, if it would happen today, they would be kicked out of the league.
Yeah.
But in those days, that was them, and there was, I don't know, was it 9 owners, and they would get together and say, well, we'll give the tackles $9,000, we'll give the quarterback $13,000, and we'll go from there,
Well, you made more money in the summer selling used cars
I know.
than you did all winter playing for the...
You're right. That's exactly correct.
Oh, I remember all these stories, and also your wrestling career was also your other moonlighting job.
That's right.
Babyface.
Yep.
And what was the name of the guy that came after you in the bar? Dick the Bruiser.
Bruiser, yeah.
But why did he come after you? I still never understood what.
He wanted to see whether or not he could make a big deal out of Dick the Bruiser wrestling Alex Karras.
Right.
So he went in there. But here's the thing, though. He called me before I went to work.
Right.
He said, "Alex, it's Dick Bruiser." I said, "Yeah, how you doing?" "Oh, okay. You know what? I'd like to do something with you. What I like to do is I like to come into the bar right now and cause a disturbance, because then we could get together and wrestle and make a little money with it." I said, "It sounds good to me. What the hell? I'll do that." So that's what we did.
But Dick had no self-restraint. Did he hit the cops? He got lost in his fake fight.
Yeah, you did.
Wow.
Yeah.
The other story of yours that I loved was about Bobby Lane. That time you were driving with him.
Oh,
when he
yeah.
introduced you to Cutty Sark.
Yeah. I love Bobby Lane.
But he was a wild thing.
Oh, he was great. He was great.
I mean, I remember you telling me he drove with one foot out the window and the other on the dashboard.
Yes.
and who was doing gas? I mean, how was the car?
I don't know who was doing gas, but
singing Ida Red. That was his great song.
Yeah, Ida Red. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, we had good times. He was a great guy. I always liked him.
Now, you mentioned the bar, and that was the legendary Lindell AC in Detroit.
Yep.
That you went partners with the Karras brothers.
Exactly.
And that didn't go down well.
No, it didn't. It became one of those things where I didn't like the whole situation anymore, and I kind of got out of it easily. But it was okay. You know, I didn't want to do it.
And
I was getting ready to try and do some other things other than that, you know, bartend and all that stuff. So.
And the Karras brothers were your partners.
Yeah.
And then Pete Rozelle sent for you and gave you the lie detector test.
Oh, I know that. Boy, oh boy. Of course, it didn't work.
And then, but what was the weird part was what he said to you at the end of the lie detector test.
Which was?
Well, don't tell anyone about this. I mean, it was all so weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It is weird. You know, I see what they do now more than I did when I was playing, because I was too busy to worry about my side of the thing. But it's always been price fixing, you know, and no one's ever done anything about it, and I think that's not good, you know. It certainly wasn't good for me to have play pro football for $9,000 for 4 or 5 years before I got another halfway decent salary out of the thing, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But then George Plimpton, doing his book Paper Lion, you know, got himself on the team for a season, and they made the movie out of it, and that's what changed your life.
Oh, it was great. It was great. I love George Plimpton. He's something else. Yeah.
But how strange. He was so waspy, and they cast Alan Alda. Play him, and you played yourself, and you played yourself better than anyone else could have.
Yes, it was good.
Yeah,
it was good. It got me in the movies.
Got you in the movies, and then of course you did some episodic TV, and then Blazing Saddles, which everybody, I mean, you know, long ago.
That's one of the classics. That's a comedy classic.
Did you have to read for it, or did Mel Brooks just say I want it?
No, I didn't have to do anything to do it. What happened to me was I was scanning the areas for people who were under control doing films, and I looked at Mel Brooks's thing, and I said, God, I gotta go over there and see him, you know, and see if I can do that Mongo thing. So I rolled up a giant bunch of paper. And I found out where he was, and there was someone in there talking to him. And then I just banged the door about 3 times. One, boom, boom, boom. And he said, "I'll be out in a minute. Take your time. I'll be out in a minute here." And about 5 more minutes, I banged again. He said, "All right, come on in." And I opened the door, and I took the ball, and I threw it at him. I just missed him. And he kind of fell off his chair, And I looked at him, and I said, "I want to play Mongo." And he said, "You got it, kid. You got it." That's the God's truth, too. But that was the easiest deal I ever made.
Wow. And slugging the horse, which it turned out was actually based on Sid Caesar slugging a horse, apparently.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Wild thing. And then not long after that, you did Babe.
Yep.
And again, your life changed.
Yeah, it really did change then.
You played George Karras.
I fell in love. Oh, George! Yeah, that was the best thing about my relationship with George. To me, he was a great man.
Uh-huh.
And I met him. He had gotten into the locker room after a game, and came up to me, and I recognized him. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "My name's." I said, "Yeah, I know who you are. You're one of my favorites." And he said, "Oh, thank you very much." He said, "I wanted to just say hello to you. Very, very good game today, and I just wanted to say." And I said, "Well, that's wonderful. Thank you very much." And he started to go out, and he turned around. And he said, "Oh, by the way, Alex, one of these days you're going to do my movie." And I said, "Oh, that'd be great." And boy, I sure as hell did.
So he recommended you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you met Susan Clark, and
Yes.
the rest is history.
Yes. Oh boy, that's my beautiful, beautiful wife.
I know. I know.
Oh yeah.
But my favorite of all your stuff, though, is still Squash Bernstein. I mean, Squash. I mean, that was amazing for that time.
Yes.
Victor Victoria, and for anyone to cast Alex Karras as this closeted bodyguard.
Yeah.
Now, how did you get that? Did you read for Blake?
I read for Blake, and it only took about 3 minutes. He said, "You got it. It was great.
I mean, that moment when you turned to Gardner and said, "Boss, if you can come out so can I," and you kissed him, and suddenly the audience was like, "What?"
That's right.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite memories of that shoot?
Oh boy, every one of those comedy actors, were just perfect. Just perfect. That's the perfect film comedy, I think, that I've ever seen. They just had the right characters, they had the right time. It was wonderful.
I was amazed to read that apparently he had wanted Tom Selleck to play Gardner's part, and the Gardner only got it because Selleck wasn't available. I can't imagine why this would have happened, but because I mean he and Julie are just, the chemistry of those two is amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then you found your little your dividend in life with Webster.
Yes.
How many years?
Yes, quite a few years.
Yeah,
I think it was 5 years, I guess 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was quite interesting because I had written kind of a script to show to one of those guys that I had been talking to before, and they were interested enough, and then they...
Hello, this is Charles Dennis with Vintage Paid to Dream audio recordings. Alex Karras was one of the most gregarious, hilarious people I ever knew. Sadly, due to his years in football, he ended up suffering from dementia, but I was able to catch up with him while he still had some delightful memories to share. Here they are now.
Are you there?
Hello, Dennis.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. In many ways, you're responsible for my doing this show, because when we used to hang out together, you always called me the dish, because you said I always had the goods on everybody. and
right.
For years, people have said, "Well, why don't you? You should be interviewing people again." And so I started doing it, and I've been after you for some time, and now I finally got you.
Oh, good. Yes.
Yeah. The little guy from Gary, Indiana.
The little guy from Gary, Indiana.
I know.
Not much of us left there, is there?
I don't know. I look back on your stories about your childhood. It was like an MGM movie. There was this King Vidor picture called An American Romance about this immigrant, and he went to work in the steel mills, and
Yeah.
you know, I picked up your book again the other day, Even Big Guys Cry, and it's a wonderful book, Alex.
Yeah, it is.
You did a terrific job with that.
Well, I always wanted to do something like that, and I did. I'm very pleased with it, and it means something to me, and it's good.
Well, tell us a little, for those who don't know. Your dad was a Greek immigrant who came with his parents, and he became a doctor, and he was Dr. Karras.
Yes, yes. And he married my mom, a nurse, and
From Nova Scotia, because he went to where do you?
Yeah.
He went to Dalhousie, I think.
That's right, Dalhousie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't know, if things seemed to be going really well, and all of a sudden my daddy died.
Yeah.
And when my daddy died, we all had to get together and do something about what we were going to do as far as financing and things like that.